Welcome back to Arkansas basketball recap. That show that recaps almost every Razorback basketball game.
Supposed
Hey,
to.
hey, like once a year, something happens. We miss one. It's usually not a very big, huge game like Arkansas versus Houston. But guys, we didn't just bail out on you. I know you were like wondering, hey, what the heck? I mean, of all the games, this game, is it because we lost? Did you just give up on the team? Are you done with this team? No, man, it's not that. We You have to believe us. We recorded the greatest episode we've ever recorded. We sat down, we did it. We did it pretty quick, and the file just wouldn't work. Something got corrupted in the recording. I don't know, something with the technology, and we were both busy. And I don't want to pretend like I'm busier than anyone else or anything like that. But between the two of us, sometimes it is difficult to we couldn't jump right on and re-record. We woke
Well,
up.
it's also it's hard to re-record a podcast
It's
in
hard.
any authentic way. We probably would have if we had beat Houston,
Hmm.
but it was like by the time you tried a bunch of times to get the file to work and stuff, it was like it's already been 24 hours. It's kind of always like we're going to get back on here and try to remember. It's you can't really recreate the feelings of what your actual critiques were. And plus, I mean, like Dan said, I mean, I gave one of the best like breakdowns of the psychological and spiritual benefits of competition and how it relates to purpose and meaning. And Dan started crying. It was pretty epic, but you guys will just have to
That's what it was. We
hope I
did.
can get that back again someday.
I know. Um, and now this one's late. I know. We have like mad excuses. I mean, the holidays, yes. We got like multiple Christmases going on. Got kids in. I mean, my kids in a holiday tournament right now, playing during the week at all different weird times and all this stuff. And it's a lot. We got some sick relatives, all this kind of thing. So we it's been a struggle to get this stuff done. Um, Now I'm at home. I got my family home. You might have heard my kid, just that my other kid, my little one, the baby yelling. You might hear that. But let's do what we're here to do. We're here to
Yeah, this
recap.
will be an easy one. We'll get
uh,
back on track during the weekend on the real games that matter. This
Right,
one's going to be pretty quick.
the anticipation that we have is we'll be on it for that Tennessee game. Okay, guys, unless something happens, there is something that could happen. But if nothing crazy happens, we'll actually be in the same place watching that game together. Like we should be good to go for that on Saturday. That would be the goal. So for SEC play, we're going to be try to be Johnny in the spot. But my kids got games. What can I tell you? All right. Arkansas defeats JMU. James Madison 103-74. Doing what they're supposed to do. Win by 29. It's what you want to see. Um, I don't have like a lot to say even negatively about this. Like, did you get up by 20? Maybe ease up a little bit. Yeah. Does this team prone to do that? Yeah. Does it bother me? Not that much because I've seen them in big games and I don't think that that's like necessarily like that big a deal. Maybe they're just nice. They have a hard time just beating the living crap out of someone continually. Um, Took a little while. Like not, I thought it took them less time than they have with some of the teams. Like, did you go ahead and just make the run? They got up 18-20 fairly early in the first half, which was better to see that they just went ahead and just sort of like took care of business, didn't mess around with it. Wasn't a 6 point game at halftime or any of that. Like they went ahead and went on a run. And I think the big plus in this game going into SEC play has to be Malik Thomas. Like, he was in a little bit of a slump. My guy needed some shots to go down just so he could be feeling it. Guy hit six threes, has 28 points. That's probably the best thing about this game, and not particularly for this game because it wasn't like we needed him to do that this game to win, but we needed him to do that, and now we're gonna need him to do what we want to do in SEC play. And it was good to see him be like, hey, let me bust out of that slump right at the right time. And hopefully some of that can carry over. And kudos to his teammates who were really rooting for him to get out of that slump. I felt like they felt like he was coming out of that slump, and they passed up stuff that they could have taken in order to get him shots once he started making shots, and they sort of fed him the ball, got him looks like this. So that's some good. That means your vibes are good on the team and whatnot. They were like, dude, let this guy eat. Like, I know A Cup did it once, DJ did it once, where they passed up shots that they could have taken, and it would have been a fine shot, not even a forced shot, to get the ball to him, to take. I guess maybe a better shot, but kind of just a similar shot. But he was feeling it. They said, give him the ball. He needs to get going. We're going to need him. And I thought that was really good. I thought Billy was Billy, and he was great. The other nice thing is that Malik Ewing continues to, I think, put forth a lot of effort. I mean, he's playing defense out on the perimeter, getting steals, and he finishes with he only plays 19 minutes. So he has 11 points, 9 rebounds. I like what I'm seeing from Malik. Both
Mhm.
Maliks. I like spelled differently, but the two Maliks are the positives of this game, I think. And not that Darius played bad, he played great, 17.6 assists. He did. Now if we're just kind of used to it, he did A cuff things.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely like if you want to be hypercritical, there's things you could be critical of, but I think there's nothing new to say other than this kind of confirms something that is
Only 6 turnovers. I like that. Last time we played a bye team, we like screwed around and turned the ball over a whole bunch. We didn't do that. That was nice.
it's just that I think this showed again something that it's not bad news, but it's also like it depends on what your expectations are. This team to me is a really good team. They're not they're not they don't deserve to be in that conversation with those, even though they're good enough to beat any top 10 team, including number one, on any given night. But their problem is consistency at a few different areas. You know what I mean? And probably the most stark one is defense. They go through periods of not playing really hard defense, and they give up big chunks of points in big sections, and in kind of every way. They give up points to, like, they give up career nights to individual great players. They give up downhill drives to good point guards. They give up threes to teams that can shoot a little bit. Like they just at different times our defense stops being tough. Like we only play really hard defense in spurts, and that's not great. I mean, that to me that's one of the ticks down from are you a great team? No, you're just a really good team. You know what I mean? And you can be great at times. And then the other thing is consistency of your really good players, and like I said, it's so rare. And I mean, you can't say he's not being talked about enough because he's being talked about constantly. But what Acuff is doing is so unusual because, dude, nobody's good players play good every night. Now, our problem is we need our players to play good every other night at least. And the good news is we have enough good players that so far, when two guys have an off night, another guy and a half have a good night or whatever, or another guy has a great night. And to me, this game showed again where it's like, if if you were a great team, you'd probably come out and not give up that high of a 3-point percentage that we did. You'd stomp on their necks in the first 5 minutes and probably beat this team by 40. But they came out a little bit slow. I remember looking up with 13 minutes left in the first half. So 7 minutes have gone by, about 40% of the first half. And we had 12 points, or maybe it might have even been 9 points. I think it was 12. And they had like 7. And it was like, that's not great. You're like, we should be beating this team by more. But then literally 3 minutes later, we had like 28. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So it's
It's
like
hard.
we score in bunches.
It's not. Yeah. It's not the offense because I mean, it's like you scored 103 points. It's like, well, I don't know how many points do you want them to score. Like if you look at how many points they're averaging per game, it's like top in the SEC. Like I mean, top two, I think. I mean, I ain't worried about the points. Like I ain't worried about this team scoring. Like they got lots of guys that can do
Well,
it. I am
I
I'm
am
a
at
little
for
I'm a little worried about us giving up too many points.
well, that's the thing is I think this team is a, 6 defensively and like a 9.2 offensively. And the problem is, I think the great teams are always actually more have that inverted, which maybe only like the really great teams. They're like a 9 defensively and a 7 offensively, usually. And to me, that usually beats because you're going to run into games where I mean, a great defense is just going to going to hold down your offense. And even if you have a great offense, it's like, I mean, this is what we saw, I think, against Houston. It's like you can score 80, but not if your defense is a 6, because that means you gave up 90. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Against a good team. So but the good news is there is huge room for improvement. I
Mm.
mean, dude, we've got guys everywhere that can be better. Like, I mean,
Well,
Knox
dude,
is still can be way better. Brazil is too schizophrenic. You know, I mean, that was one of the guys I'm talking about where there, when Brazil had like 2.5 really good games in a row, it was like, is this his new thing? It's like, no, it's not. He's going to have games like that every so often, but then he's going to have 2 or 3 games where he's non-existent or in foul
mm,
trouble or whatever. And he didn't play bad in this game. It's just you can tell like Brazil's going to be a little hit or miss, which, like I said, that's not even a knock on him. Most great players in college haven't figured out how to be great every night. What Acuff is doing is ridiculous. You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like to score 18 points every night and only have a couple of turnovers and have 6 assists is like not normal.
No, if you're a
Most
freshman,
point
you're just like,
guards.
I'm just going out there and get a cold, just and it's not even like a big deal. Like it's going to be an average night for me at the job. I'm going to go get 17 points, 6 assists. I'll turn the ball over once. How about that? And you're like, that's just another day at the office for him. Like he's doing that every time, if not. And he's like, every once in a while, I might go for 28 or whatever. But
Yeah, what's happening to Thomas is much more typical. Like
yeah,
I mean, now maybe not that bad a slump, maybe not a 5 game slump, but like 2 or 3 games where your point guard, like your freshman point guard, only scores 8 or 12 points. That's always happens. They don't Freshman point guards don't score 20 points a game every game. It's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
But
yeah.
so like I said,
I
I'm
don't.
not really like
Did you happen to watch A Cuff on Field of 68?
I saw was did they play up chess? I don't think I saw the whole thing. I just saw chunks of it from the at halftime of this game, I think.
Well, maybe I don't know if they played that if it was the same thing or not, but
Oh no, you're talking about on the different thing. Sorry.
yeah. So Field of 68, Rob Doster interviewed Darius Acuff, and it's like a fairly long interview, like 10 minutes long, something like that, 10 minutes. Man, if you want to like Darius Acuff, go watch that video. Because that's actually kind of a long time for an interview for like a college athlete. Man, if you're wondering if he's that dude, go watch that video. You'll come out liking him more. Uh,
Oh yeah, more than the thing they showed at the halftime where he was like just playing with all the little kids and doing the A cuff like
it's just you'll realize that I mean, he's trying to get him to talk about like, hey, people aren't talking about you enough. When people talk about the top freshmen, you get left out. Does that bother you? And he's like, I don't even know about it. I'm not paying any attention to any of it. Like I'm all I care about is winning basketball games. It's the only thing I care about. I don't care what anyone's saying. I don't care where I am in the rankings. I don't care about any of that. I just care about winning basketball games. And you're like, okay, that's the right answer. Then and he goes, well, he's like, I suppose it's easy to just say like, well, you can sleep on me. Just look at my stats. He's like, I don't even do that. I'm just trying to win basketball games. Like, yeah, dude, that is the correct answer. The way he talks about his teammates, the way he talks about DJ Wagner and what DJ Wagner has done in a leadership role and being an example of maturity and like how to embrace a role. The way he talks about the other guys around him, the way he talks about Cal and the way that he's coaching him. And then when he's asked, like this is and I love this, when he's asked. You know, about, hey, what is it that this team, what's the one thing this team needs to do or improve on to make that jump? Like this team, he's basically saying this team is so talented. What is the thing that this team needs to do to be like that Final Four team? And he said, be more consistent on defense. We have to get more consistent on defense. That is what we have to do. That's encouraging because that means that he knows it. It means I'm sure that's the thing that the coaches are telling them. So they know it. And so like that's the thing. I mean, he didn't have to think about it or anything like that. He just said we have to get more consistent on defense. He's like we have times where we're really good and times where we're not good. We have to get better there. That was really great to hear him talk about that. And then, also just, when they asked him about um, you know I mean, how far this team can go. I mean, and of course you're going to say they can go all the way, but I mean, he really believes that they're really really good. He talked about the Michigan State game. He's like, that game I didn't like. I didn't like the way that I played in that game. He's like, I've watched it 3 times, and I watch every play, the offensive plays, the defensive plays, and I all I care about is getting better. And this is what I'm talking about. And if that's the mentality, you guys are probably gonna get better on that front.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, part of it is hard in these games when you get a 25-point lead. And even with like Acuff, like I kind of think he could have driven to the basket more if he wanted to. It felt a little bit like he was trying to get other guys involved.
Hmm.
And it just feels like at some certain point, the game's not in question, and it's very difficult to play. I mean, those are still D1 athletes. It's like they want to score the basketball. You have to play really, really hard to make them not be able to score the basketball. And it's just very difficult once the game's not in question to be like, I mean, you don't want to hurt yourself when you're like,
Hmm.
we're gonna win this game. Um, but a lot of, I mean, like I said, so I don't take too much of it, and they do score a lot, so there are a lot of possessions. But I do wish teams would stop shooting like their best 3-point shooting of their season against us. Like we
And
got
I
to,
mean,
I don't know what that is, but we got to do a better job of
yeah.
being able to both stay in front and get a hand in guys' faces.
I'll tell you this, dude. I mean, so they gave up 12 threes. It was only 38%, which is like, a good percentage that they gave
It's
up.
pretty
That's
good. I
pretty good.
mean,
It's not the 54% that we shot. Um, what's crazy about this team is that like I
Malik
did.
shot 60 all by himself, and then I mean, I don't know what.
Well, DJ was 4 or 5.
I was gonna say DJ. Yeah, he was hitting him like you said. I mean, he could have shot a couple of more too.
Yeah, like I'll tell you what I didn't have going into this year, and it is weird, dude. Like, I mean, Arkansas is one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the SEC by percentage. I mean, they're shooting like 40% from three, which is like we haven't had that in a long time.
With
Where
our prospective best shooter dragging our numbers down up until last night.
yeah, yeah. So that
He was shooting like 31% or
yeah,
something coming
yeah,
into that game, which I
yeah.
mean, it's not terrible, but it's not an elite shooter level.
No, no. By the way, I thought, but so that's like a really reassuring to me. Like it's kind of nice to be able to, and Cal still don't want him shooting. I mean, we were 15 to 28. That's more than he wants him shooting. He doesn't want him shooting 33s a game. Like, so that just the fact that you can get him though. Like you can't. It was so frustrating last year when teams would decide like let's throw a zone at him. It's so annoying that could work.
I
And it
know.
did work sometimes. That you can't do that this year. That's not going to work. You can't do that. So that's really good. I did think that DJ had a good game.
Oh yeah.
DJ he had 14 points, 4 assists, no turnovers. I thought that's a nice solid DJ Wagner game. I'll take that anytime.
Played good defense
Yep.
for the most part.
Yep. By the way, I saw the zone thing get thrown at a team. Um, yesterday, where I mean it was the most packed in zone you ever saw. This was high school basketball, but this against a team that's very good but can't shoot. Like they're all downhill. It's all post up and stuff. And this other team said we don't believe you can shoot. And I mean they were 4 feet from the 3-point line zone, dude. They had that zone packed in, and it worked because they
Yeah.
said we dare you, and they did. It just
If you can't shoot, it makes it really hard to drive when there's freaking just tentacles of arms everywhere inside the paint. And it's very frustrating. It does the one thing about a zone, if you can't shoot, it tends to completely neuter your um, confidence because you feel like it's so disrespectful. And then when you shoot and they just keep clanging, I mean,
yeah.
you just feel like a Dumbo.
It's
And then
it
it makes
looked
it hard to do anything.
it looked horrible. It was actually my daughter's in a tournament right now, and the team that won, I was watching it with a friend of ours, and I was like, man, I can't believe they're doing this to this team. This is crazy because they said the team they're playing is pretty good, and it worked, and I was like, well, the reassuring thing is you won't do that. You can't do that against us,
Mm-hmm.
So that is a team specific thing. But that's annoying when a team's like, hey, you want to know how to beat this team? Just put everyone in the paint.
Well,
Like
I mean that
that's
that
just
did that did happen to Arkansas last year, and it was frustrating,
yeah.
especially because we had like a couple of guys that are supposed to be able to shoot, and they just couldn't shoot for half the year.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, I mean I thought for the most part like mostly positive and
Yeah, it's
um
good. I mean, like I said, we got room for improvement. Some guys can play better, but I mean that's all you needed to do there. I mean, you won by 30, scored 100 points. I
yeah.
probably should does go honorable mention to the way that step back three to end the game.
Yeah,
Uh,
dude. Carletta.
and
Is that Carletta that did that?
yeah, after like they made really, it was just that they really wanted him to score, and he drove in and missed one, and then had that step back.
That they had to hold that bench back.
Yeah,
They're
Brazil went like backwards into the side bench. I mean, that's probably a tech because he was like way off the bench into the side.
yeah.
Speaking of Brazil, I mean, he didn't play that great. I mean, he was fine, but dude, that one dunk. I mean, it's because it's in a nothing game and we were ahead by a bunch. It's going to be overlooked. But dude, that they need to have a guy like there's a couple of dunks that you can have. I mean that's like a once every like twice a year you're going to see somebody in college dunk like that. Where I can't believe he never puts the ball on the ground when I think he's going. He needs to, but
Yeah.
no, they need to have a guy that just is like holding a coat on the side there. And when somebody dunks like that, you just put that coat on, a hat, and just get a briefcase and just walk out and be like, all right, that's it for me. I did my job. I'm leaving. Just
Yeah.
walk down the tunnel.
Did uh they asked Acuff in that interview, which you really should go watch, um, about throwing oops to Brazil, and he was like, "Yeah." He's like, "When I first got here, he told me I was throwing them too low." He's like, "Man, just throw. I mean, just throw it up there." And he was like, "He's like that dude is the most athletic dude I've played with. It's not close. Like he's like, you just throw it anywhere." Like near the basket, like, and so, which is kind of funny to think about. Like, hey, let me throw this guy some oops, and he's like, "Nah, I mean, you got to throw that thing in the rafters, dude. Let me, let me go get it."
Well, I've been editing together a little montage of just because I'm working on like a little intro that we might put on a video or something, and I've just been going through Hogs highlights. And I gotta say, dude, like you want to stick some of the older highlights in. First off, the footage is so grainy, and not like I'm not talking about the '70s, like 1999. Like it's
Yeah,
almost
yeah,
unwatchable. It's like how did we watch TV like this? But also, dude, you're watching these, and there's some good dunks. There's good dunks all the way in there,
yeah.
and then it gets to Qualls, uh, Brazil, and
Ricky Council.
Ricky Council. And dude, those guys' dunks are on another level,
Yeah,
especially Council and Brazil. I mean,
yeah.
Qualls had a couple of good ones, but
I
dude,
mean,
nope.
Qualls has like maybe the greatest dunk in Arkansas history.
Yeah.
'Cause-
But as far as looks, like, because you're looking for the cool looking ones, dude, nobody does it like Brazil and Council with the coming down the lane from the free throw line, like all the way back, posterized looking dunk.
yeah,
Like most college guys, when you actually watch the dunk in real life, like even if it looks badass and live, when you do it, it's like it's a good dunk. But these are like NBA, like the guy's chin is up here. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
yeah,
So
yeah.
and so my whole highlight's just gonna just be Brazil and them dunking. Like it's gonna be 4 dunks from Brazil.
I love it. All
But
right. Well, I think that's it, man. SEC play starts. I'm ready for that. I think that's gonna be fun, man. Every game matters now. It's kind of like a little bit of a new season. And hey, man, I think you realize it's been like I don't know, I can't remember the number, but it's like shocking. It's been a minute since Arkansas finished above 500 in the SEC. Like it's been a couple of years since that happened. And this is the year, dude. Like we got to finish above 500. In fact, I mean, this team can win. This team can win the SEC. I'm not saying that they will win the SEC, but this team can win the SEC. They certainly can. And
yeah,
so,
like I said, I think this team's going to be in some close games, especially on the road. And I mean, it sounds like a dumb thing to say, but it's just going to. And I think it's going to be. There's a lot more parity this year in the SEC. And yeah, we could be way out of first place. Like there could be a team. There could be a team, and it could be the Hogs there's going to be a bunch of close games on the road. Somebody could win all those, or half, or all
Yeah.
but two of those, and then they're going to just run away with the SEC versus. And like I said, that could be us. Or you could lose a majority of those and just be in the middle of the pack just
Yeah.
because you've got a bunch of road losses. But I think there's just no way. Like, we're going to be in a bunch of close games on the
Oh,
road.
sure. Oh, sure.
I mean, I'm hoping we mostly can take care of business at home. I mean, I'm sure maybe we'll
Starts
lose
on
it,
starts on Saturday against Tennessee.
but the road does. Road in the SEC is tough.
Yeah, dude, I had PTSD from opening against Tennessee last year, so I need to get that flushed out of my system.
I know, and they're good too, dude.
Yeah. So
So,
we'll
all
see. All right, man. Well,
right.
I'll see you then.
See ya. See you guys. See you Saturday.